What's up, everyone, and thanks for joining us for episode 263 of the Aussie Gamers Experience podcast. In this show this week, the Jedi have spoken, Nintendo's and don'ts, charges laid for a scumbag streamer, PS++, Sonic 4, Minecraft Galore, somebody let Leo off the chain, and much, much more. Editing Lucas, play the track, mate.
3, 2, 1. 0.
We recommend wearing headphones.
This is the Aussie Gamers
Experience.
News, reviews, and outlandish fun.
Experience it all.
That's right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for the show this week. Today is Thursday, the 11th of July, 2019. I am your host, Snoogs, and joining me for hosting duties this week is the one and only Grejio. Good evening, good sir. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Kicking along. I'll explain my gripe a little bit later. Also joining us, though, is the man who controls the edits, Mr. Lucas. You, sir?
G'day. Hello, everybody.
Having fun?
Yeah, well, yes, we're just getting started, but I'm ready to have some fun and argue some points.
Argue some points.
Yeah, probably likely. It's likely with us. We'll have some differing opinions.
That's likely to happen.
Never.
Yeah.
It never happens.
The other day, Luke, you put something up on Twitter saying that you'll be overjoyed the day that you see something on Twitter from me that's me having a good day.
Yes, that's right. I'm looking forward to that day.
You're looking forward to it. Today was going to be that day.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. It wasn't. You know what? It started off really good. It ended really good. But I feel like I had a dinner plate-sized rock bounce off my windscreen. So
you got a smashed windscreen out of it.
Yeah. So it's literally if I sort of put my left hand forward and reach to the windscreen, that's where it is. So it's right in my field of vision, and it's not just a chip; it's actually splintered out from it. So it's a new windscreen. Fantastic.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, look on the bright side. It's not really your car; it's a work car. So who
right.
cares? They can pay for it.
Yeah, this is true.
There you go. Always look on the bright side of life. That was your cue to go, do.
Yep.
Never mind.
All right, mate. Well, let's jump into it, hey. This week in gaming, we are going all the way back to 1996, where there was a couple of very early teenage Grejio and Lucas doing their thing. And there was also SimCity 2000 was released on the original PlayStation.
Oh, yeah, I pirated that, yeah.
I never played it on PlayStation. I played it on PC, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, on PlayStation, yeah. Jeez, no, I played it on PC.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to admit I played it on both. More so on the PC back then anyway. Of course, it was published and developed by Maxis. And Grejio, you and I were chatting the other day. Maxis is actually still around, part of EA.
Yeah, part of EA. They're still making the Sims games.
Yeah, they do. Do they do mobile games too?
I think they do mobiles as
Possibly.
Because I remember seeing Maxis somewhere.
So let's have a look.
Somewhere floating around.
Besides Sims games, let's have a look. And trust me, there's a lot. They made Spore.
Right, yeah, I remember that
The little game that could.
But
Dark
didn't.
Spore. I'm trying to find games that don't start with Sims or have Sim in it, and it's literally Spore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games. Like there's some games I didn't even know exist. Like what we got? Simsville.
Right.
Okay.
There is a Sims Mobile. Sim Health.
Oh, exciting.
Sim Park. Streets of Sim City, which looks like a racing game.
Do these guys only make games starting with the letter S?
Must be.
Well, I guess so, because yeah, it's
Well, the only game that doesn't start with sim is Spore.
yeah.
Maybe someone in their PR department is really unliked and has a lisp.
Darkspore. Oh, they
Darkspore.
broke on Lisp. Like it's almost that's where they got their sort of trademark from, like with EA, is that all they want people to do is spend with all their microtransactions.
Ah,
Well, maybe they're setting up they've got another game called RoboSport, which came out in 1991.
Do you reckon their working titles, instead of the letter S, they actually use dollar signs because they're an S2?
I know for The Sims, it definitely is. It's $IMS.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, God. Let's release a handbag, a scooter, and a puppy dog. $45 add-on.
Thank you.
Oh, dear.
And if you build a pool, they could turn into a mermaid. One thing I did want to talk about with SimCity 2000, because I didn't know about this until I was reading it. And it starts off that few gamers have actually noticed it. The trees in the game will multiply by themselves. So if you leave the game running for a few days at, the top speed, you've got all automatic function set, a surplus budget, and you've disabled disasters, you'll see the trees starting to multiply themselves. So, reforestation sort of starts to take over. The problem is that it makes the game unplayable, because if you go to destroy any of that area, the greenies will come in and try and stop you from doing it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there's seriously environmental activists in the game that will complain each time you try to demolish that square.
You just turn disasters back on and hope for a forest fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just put a little
Or just start one.
arsonist sim in there.
Yeah.
So someone from the RFS.
Yeah.
The rural fire starters, as they're known as.
I was just going to say, put an uneducated sim with a kitchen in the middle of a forest and let nature take its course.
That could also work. I never enjoyed the Sims. SimCity. Never enjoyed them. I just would dick around in it and then just turn it off.
I think that's all we ever do.
I don't think I actually ever genuinely played it the way the game was supposed to be played. It was always just cheat codes and then build like the biggest city I possibly could. And like level up until I could get those massive tower things, and then just replace all residential area with those massive monolith towers.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, let's jump into some game talk, shall we?
Let's do it.
Alrighty. I'm kicking it off with the Division 2 because I've only got one trophy left till Platinum now.
Ooh, and I'll help you cheese that if I can.
Yes. That
I'm all
sounds
about
good,
cheesing platinums. If you can cheese it, do it.
Well, this trophy is, well, I'm actually cheesing the meta at the moment. Well, not cheesing the meta, probably playing to its strength. So there's a very big meta in the Dark Zone, and you can literally one-shot kill people with a shotgun if you've got enough strength. So no other gun, even your exotic sniper rifles, will do it. But you can run around with an M870 pump-action shotgun and use it like a sniper rifle. And I actually had someone shoot me and drop me in one-hit kill from the other side of the block the other night, which I didn't even see them, and they hit me. It was ridiculous. So I'm building that one, but even that's not strong enough to go into an occupied Dark Zone. I even said to a few people they were extracting their gear, and I'm like, I just want to cut the rope. I just want the trophy, and they just laced me.
Yeah,
So-
people, they're not going to help. But I'll see if I can help. If I can go in there and extract some shit and just let you cut the rope or something. Not that I'd really have much choice whether I let you or not. You could pretty much just make me. Because I'm kind of underpowered, but
Yeah, but
I'll help out.
By the time we can get you into that Dark Zone, because it's the occupied Dark Zone doesn't normalize your stats. It's it just goes straight off gear score. So like the other night when we were playing around in it, and I would go rogue just by meleeing one of you guys, and that was fun.
Well,
I didn't think it would happen.
with the Division 2, I've finished the story. I've finished the main story.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Big bulk of it. Anyway, I went into it and played a few of the side missions because I thought I'd finished the main missions, but you tricked me. You've tricked me into doing side missions, Pat. But anyway, you're spot on though, because the side missions are actually pretty story rich, which is what I remember of the first one. The first one had actually good, meaningful side missions. They're not just your typical, I need 8 eggs and I'm short. Can you go get them for me? That's not the kind of side missions that Division's known for. The side missions are actually really in depth and have a lot to do with the story and progress it quite well. And there was one mission that I wanted to talk to you about. I might bring this up now, which I'm not sure if the game bugged out or if it was meant to do this. If you probably played it, you might know what I'm talking about. There was one mission where I went in to assist another agent of the Division.
Yep.
And from what I can gather from what was going on, I think that agent had gone rogue. And I thought, oh, okay, I now have to, go in and help him, but I couldn't find him anywhere. And then all of a sudden he turns up and it's like, oh, I'm going to have to kill this guy. So I start shooting him, but then I get hit with some sort of electrical thing. I don't know what it was, but I was just in a loop of being electrocuted. I was electrocuted for probably a good minute. And then... I'm thinking, I think the game's bugged, it's broken, because I'm sure this kind of effect should not last this long. But then when I finally was able to move, the thing just went, mission complete. And I didn't actually kill the guy. Do you remember that mission? Is that what was meant to happen?
No. I don't actually remember. I don't. It has been a long time since I've played through the side missions, but...
Yeah, I can't even tell you what mission it was. I can't remember. I wasn't really paying attention. I just went, that one's close. So I went and did it.
Yeah.
I had to find my way into this warehouse. And then I went... Actually, it wasn't a warehouse. I think it was like a subway. I went downstairs, because I remember seeing sort of like a subway train sort of thing. And then there was this area which kind of looked like maybe it was like a booth, like a pay booth. And the Division agent appeared inside of there. He sort of came out in pretty well glory, where it was a bit smoky, and because a little bit of a cutscene, and then it gave me control, so I just started lacing into him, and then I got electrocuted and was sort of having a fit, and couldn't move, lost control, and then all of a sudden controls came back after what felt like a long time, and then mission complete came up.
Yeah, not ringing a bell.
It seemed bugged. It didn't seem right. So I don't know what you were supposed to do in that mission, but that happened anyway. I'm enjoying it. It's a good game. Once I have a little bit more time again, I'll get back into it.
Sounds good. And I'll be there to run you through it. Grejio,
Yes.
tell us about your Minecraft wonders.
I've been playing a lot of Minecraft because that game I found is incredibly addictive. I've been, up until late, I've been playing a lot of survival. And I've just kind of almost finished a rather large build in survival, which is I'm building an iron farm to help me get more iron, so I don't have to do as much mining, which is the point of Minecraft, I guess. But anyway,
to avoid mining. Right.
I can't avoid it completely because there's some other stuff that you just can't farm that you need to. You still need to be able to get, but if I can supplement my iron, then I can build some other cool stuff in survival. However, I've kind of taken a break from survival. I jumped into creative just for a little bit. My children have been watching a lot of Minecraft videos on YouTube because they are now obsessed, so much so that my oldest's birthday party is this weekend, and we're having a Minecraft-themed birthday party. So nice. I can't get away from it, no matter what happens. Anyway, so yeah, creators like Mumbo Jumbo and Grian have become household names in my house. thanks to my children. And anyway, watching those guys, they do some incredible builds and stuff like that. It kind of got me a little bit jazzed to do something a little bit more creative than just play survival mode. So I've built a massive castle on top of a mountain. And while I've now sort of completed the main structure of what the building is, I've got to now sort of detail it a bit better so it looks a bit prettier. And then work on the inside, the internal of it. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's on top of a mountain, so much so that it sort of goes up into the clouds. So half of, when you're kind of looking at it, half the castle can sometimes be obscured because it's so high up in the clouds. But there's got I put a sort of a big drain sort of pipe thing out underneath the castle in the mountain, and it's spewing out lava. Looks really cool, actually. I put grates, and it looks like an actual sort of sewage sort of drain, only it's lava. So, you can imagine what that could possibly be, whether it's just, a heating system, or maybe they've just funneled the volcano sitting on elsewhere, or
the castle's got a giant spicy wang. Yeah,
that too.
Yeah.
But is the lava made of baked beans?
No, it's not. I don't have that texture pack.
No,
Sorry.
good. That's a
good,
Discord joke, by the way, anyone listening.
Yes. Disturbing, but yeah, no, it's not. So yeah, that's what I've been doing of late. I really enjoy it. I find it just so, I say it's addictive, but really it's just easy.
It's relaxing.
It's easy just to get in.
Yeah.
You start building, especially if you've got like a big project that's going to take you a while to do. You can just sort of chip away at it, and just let the creative juices flow. Which for me is always a sticking point, like a bit that makes me stick with the game so much. It's why I enjoy Forza so much. Yes, I enjoy racing games, but there's lots of other racing games I can be playing. But I play Forza because it also appeals to that creative side to me, and and people can see what I do with that. But Minecraft does the same thing. It's got this ability where I can build whatever the hell I want, and I enjoy doing that. So,
well, yeah. I've got another Minecraft YouTuber. Well, YouTuber that also plays Minecraft, I should say.
Yes.
You ever heard of Delirious? H2O Delirious.
I can't say I have.
Okay, he used to play with a few of the big Division 1 streamers, and that's where I sort of come. I'm pretty sure it was for that. Anyway, he's off the chain. He's hysterical. He's got the most twisted laugh, and that just makes it funny. And so what he was doing was, him and another bloke, I think he was called Mr. Squirrel or something, because his Fortnite character was a squirrel, and they were all playing together. And someone else that was apparently really big in the Minecraft world, they were in a world together, and this guy was building this massive dragon head up on a mountain that had his house in it, and going through all this sort of stuff. So what they did was they just went and booby-trapped everything. Just went and booby-trapped it to a point where the guy would go in his house, and you could stand outside and pull a lever, and the house would start filling up with lava.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move.
yeah, very much a dick move, but it was all done, like the three of them were all mates, and they were all just pissing themselves laughing. And like this guy
so that guy was Snoogs.
That's probably why I enjoy it. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Right. Lucas, you've made a new video for Sonic the Hedgehog.
I did that one. Yes, it was Sonic the Hedgehog 4, and it was episode 1. There's 2 episodes, I believe, of Sonic the Hedgehog 4, and they were on the Steam summer sale, I think it was. And I think it was like about $5, and I got both of them. And I've never played them before, so I thought, I'm going to give them a go. So I downloaded those, and I gave the first one a go.
And then you tried to play it in 4K.
I did, yeah. Well, it had the option, so I put it in 4K, and it doesn't do it any justice. It's still very low quality. So, it's
it's not really 4K. It's 4K.
Yeah. Okay. But look, it played well enough. But it's a really strange grey area for me when it comes to Sonic, because they've added in some questionable mechanics. Like there's like a homing mechanic where
I saw that. Didn't like it.
yeah, where like you jump and it'll put up like a little aimer and you press jump again and you'll home in on whether it will be like a spring jump or an enemy and and kill the enemy, or it'll just take it. It's kind of strange. Look, if you get really good at the game, I could imagine you could do like a pretty sick speed run of it, but it's if you're not very good at it, and it was the first time I was playing it when I did that video, it can really kill your momentum. And, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog's all about momentum and going quick, and it was breaking the momentum big time. I got a little bit more used to it the more and more I played, but I still don't think I like it. And I'm sort of stuck in that, you know, stubborn, this isn't Sonic that I know. So I'd sort of prefer the old school ones, which is probably why I like Sonic Mania better, because Sonic Mania is more like the originals. Even though they did add in some new mechanics, the new mechanics were subtle and still felt like they could have been around back with the original Sonic games. They didn't go all like special.
But that homing thing completely changes the game, like the gameplay mechanics, so to speak, because you do lose that momentum, which is what it's all about.
Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of it. Look, there are some really cool things in Sonic the Hedgehog 4 that sort of blew me away, like the bit where you on the playing cards and it kind of does like a magic carpet ride and flies around the screen in sort of like a 3D space. That was kind of cool. But overall, I wasn't terribly impressed with it. However, after I put that video up, I did get a couple of comments from Cameron Hons, and he said, you've got to play episode 2. If you didn't really like the first one too much, you'll probably like episode 2. So I don't know, maybe they've tweaked the mechanics, or it's, you know, a little bit more refined in episode 2, but I haven't tried it yet. So I am going to give that a go when I get a chance. But it's not the Sonic game I'd be recommending. I can't go past Sonic Mania. That's the bomb. That's awesome. But yeah, that video is up on our YouTube channel. If I remember, I will pop a link to it in the show notes and description.
Cool. Grejio, Forza's got a new story side to it.
Yeah, it does. So we've just had update 11, which has brought a couple of changes. There's some changes to the auction house to do with how you can now sell cars at different prices due to how well they sell. So obviously, the better they sell, the more you can actually sell them for.
$1
and
million.
up to 20 million, funnily enough. So yeah. And if they don't sell as well, as in they take forever to sell, or they don't sell at all, it actually devalues the cars. So I don't know how that's going to work. The auction house for me in 4 is kind of dead, as opposed to what it was in 3. So anyway,
it's always been dead in 4.
yeah, they've broken it as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, so the story mode, there's a new story mode that came with 11, which is a Top Gear story mode. Essentially, what you do is you end up being the Stig, because you're the one driving, and Chris Harris, who is one of the presenters from the newest version of Top Gear.
No one watches.
Yeah, well, no one watches. I watch it because I'm a car person. I don't mind it. It's obviously lost its charm a little bit. But anyway.
It's lacking that racist and sexist vibe.
Well, yes, it is. It is losing. It has lost that. Anyway, so you're just doing car challenges, with Chris Harris commentating over the top of it. I think what I have noticed about this, and this is a little bit different to all the other story modes, is it feels a little bit more interactive, and they've done something clever to make it feel more interactive. So there are certain things that you can do while you're doing the challenge that triggers specific things for Chris Harris to say while you're doing it. So if you do a power slide, he'll make a comment about drifting or something like that. But if you don't do them, he won't say it. So previously, obviously, as you hit certain checkpoints, whoever's narrating the story or talking to you through the level will just talk those things through. Whereas I played one level and I failed the challenge, and I came back and I realized that he was saying similar things, but in a completely different order this time. And I worked out it was actually being triggered by actions done by me as opposed to just hitting checkpoints in
just where you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
So
good.
it's
They did that in
clever.
Carmageddon.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got a full ball down the straight in Carmageddon. The little guy down the bottom started screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a new thing. There's also 3 new cars. There's a tractor, a 5.7 liter V8 tractor that you can drive. There's a Merc Estate that's been turned into an off-road vehicle, and then there's the Mercedes AMG G63 6x6, which is like the triaxle G-Wagon. So the interesting
Try that out.
the interesting fact about that car is that it's been a real struggle because it's the only car that actually has more than two axles, like so 2 sets of wheels essentially. And the Playground Games said they've had a lot of trouble with the game engine. The game engine isn't designed to accommodate vehicles with more than 2 sets of wheels, kind of thing, or front wheels and back wheels. So they've had to really play around with it to get it to work. And so this is the first time that we've had a vehicle that's actually had essentially more than 4 wheels, so that you can play as. So it's also a very neat, small but neat thing. So
That's a revelation.
yeah, essentially yes. It
6
is.
wheels. That's unheard of.
I know.
I want a semi-trailer in the game now. Go on, get to work on that. Turn 10. Good luck.
That'll be turn 25 just to get it around the racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Lucas, Pummel Party. I've seen you talking about this a bit, but I haven't been around when you've actually been playing it. So
Yeah, well, Pummel Party is another one of these Steam summer sale games. I saw it for sale. It was like $13. And I had a quick squiz at the screenshots and some of the videos that were on there. And it just looked like a party game. Hence the name, Pummel Party. And I just put a comment in the Discord saying, hey, check out Pummel Party, and sort of specifically pointed it towards Azrael and Kazakyle. And Kazakyle replies back, it's installing now. I'm like, oh, I better buy it then. So I picked it up. Az picked it up. Nick, who's a new member to our Discord, he picked it up as well. And then we were playing that, and bloody Reprimir has it. Actually, Reprimir just quite strangely was gifted it by a friend of his. He has a friend, right, that he doesn't really talk to very much, but will just like gift him games every now and then. Where do you get a friend like that?
yeah, does he want to be my friend too?
Well, yeah, I said, man, introduce this boy, because there's like no effort put in whatsoever, and he gets free shit. That sounds to me like this bloke. Maybe he's got the hots for Jason.
Well, he is a very rugged-looking man.
He is, if you're kind of into that sort of weird terroristy looking dude. I'm allowed to say that about him because he's family.
His family.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, Jason played. So we had like 4-player matches. But what Pummel Party is, to sort of put it in a nutshell for you, if you know what Mario Party is, but take away the PG rating and make it M15 plus, and that's Pummel Party. There's like blood splattered everywhere, and you bash each other up and, you know, kill each other. And there's like hot potato game where it's actually like a bomb. So you've got to hand the bomb off at the right time and they blow up. Or there's one where you just got to literally bash each other. And there's little car racing ones. There's like one that's like Frogger, where you got to get all this cash. I think you're robbing a bank. You got to pick up cash and gold bullion and carry it across the road. But the more you carry, the slower you go. So it's harder it is to get across. There's like tons of games. I haven't even played all of them. Look, I'm just going to throw a guess out there. There's at least 50 mini games.
Yeah, there looks to be quite a few.
And the graphics are actually pretty tidy, and it runs really cool. So it was a good fun game. Actually, there's one game in there that's actually really bizarre, and it's like a counting game. I feel like I'm playing like a Sesame Street game, but it's weird. So you've got all these characters running across the screen, and they're animals. So it might be like deer, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my!
Oh my! Yeah.
And it'll say, like at the beginning, it'll say, count the amount of lions with cats riding on their back. So then, like a whole bunch of animals will run across the screen, and you've got to just find the ones that match the brief at the start. And you've got to click your button. And it's kind of like, like when you're at a turnstile and the person's counting the amount of people that come in. It's kind of like that. You just got to hit the button. So you got to count the right amount. And at the end, if you get the right count, you win, sort of thing. Weird, bizarre. But some of them are great. Some of them you never, ever want to play again. But overall, it's actually pretty fun. It's a cool game.
So it sounds like a fun drinking game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely, it'd pay to be drunk playing that game. But look, there's also a board game version, so you can just play the mini games, and there's also the board game version, which is very much Mario Party, where you've got an actual board that you're going around, and then each time you all settle on a block, you then go into a mini game, and you get points for whoever wins that mini game, and then you roll the dice again, and you move around the board. Awesome game. I don't actually know how much it is outside of the sale. I can't remember,
$20.
but is it $20? Is it?
Yep.
So there you go. Look, I mean, I think it's worth $20 if you like those kind of couch co-op / online co-op stuff, or not co-op, multiplayer games. Bloody good game. It looks tidy too.
Awesome. Last couple of games from me have come from the Switch. I've been playing a lot of Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, how are you liking Mario Odyssey? Because I remember I talked about it back when I picked it up, and you still you weren't sold on the thing. How are you feeling about it now? You've actually had a good chunk of a go of it.
Very good indeed. There's parts of it that where the 3D is a little frustrating, just because of the timing to jump on things or to get to a certain edge, and I miss it, and it's just the camera angle or whatever I've got it at that point. It just makes it a bit harder to judge. I think I'm jumping in the right spot, but I'm.
Yeah. Blame your incompetence on the game. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. I'm going to. That's what I'm doing. Listen up. But other than that, mate, I think I'm into the second world, the desert thing that's frozen. Yeah, I've very much gone into the what's that over there? What's that over there? It seems to be very open and lots to do, lots to play with, and it's just good fun. And the fact that I can go, I could come and sit down in the office, turn something on, or I could just go and lay in bed.
Well, do you play? Do you mainly play it docked or in
I
handheld?
mainly play it handheld.
Okay.
I'm finding it that Mario Odyssey I've only played handheld.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the other game that I've been playing a lot of is Mario Kart 8.
Hey, what do you think of that one?
I love that one. That is so much fun.
Yeah, best kart racer ever.
They absolutely, love it. I got home this afternoon. My wife went out and cooked the dinner, and we're sitting down eating dinner, and asked, can we play the Switch? Yeah, right. Once we're finished, we'll have a quick go. Got them finished, had their shower, got them all dressed, ready for bed, and both of them are sitting there and just eyes hanging out of their head because they're exhausted. Oh, we want to play the Switch. I'm like, look, I'll set it up in the morning so you can play it while I'm at school instead. Oh, at work. Because we're on school holidays. And they're both, no, we want to play it now. And then they'd sort of flop back into the chair because they were both out of it. So, that's what they're doing tomorrow.
Oh, lovely. Fun for the family.
So much. Mario Kart is so much fun. I'd actually forgotten how much fun a Mario Kart game was.
Yeah, it's good. And we could play what do you call it? Like when you do local multiplayer, but on the two systems now.
Yes, we can.
You know what I mean? Like a local LAN sort of thing using the Wi-Fi. I think you can do that. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but I think you can do that.
I dare say you'd be able to.
As opposed to doing split screen on a tiny screen like that.
A tiny little screen.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you can do that.
I must admit, playing 4-player split screen is so much better on a 65-inch screen than it was on the old, 51 centimeter TV back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing with TV sizes these days. We can play 4-player split screen, and our individual segments are still bigger than the TVs that we played on back in the day.
Exactly. So yeah, it's and the big thing that I was always concerned, I suppose, is probably a way to put it, especially when I've got a half decent PC, I've got the PlayStation Pro, and the Xbox One, and then the Switch was so much. There was so much less power to it, but the games are so vibrant. They all run exceptionally well, and above all else, mate, it's just fun.
Well, that's it. The Nintendo has never been a forefront with power, but they've always been up there with innovation, and their systems are always, they at least always take full advantage of what they've got.
Exactly.
So you're going to get really good games on them. Like the Switch, for me, it is predominantly a first-party device and also an indie game thing. It's not something like I'm not going to get Doom. I'm not going to get Mortal Kombat. I'm not going to get any of those third-party AAA games on the Switch because, they're not going to be good. Like they'll be good, but they won't be great compared to how we could be playing them. But for everything else, like first-party games and indie titles, the bloody Switch is perfect for it.
So, yeah,
that's cool.
That's brilliant. Even to the point the other day where, I'm coming up on 40. I travel a lot for work, and
he's admitting it now.
I've still got over 12 months till I get there. But the thought, someone was taking the piss out of it the other day, and it's like, what? So when you check into the hotel next time you're on a work trip, it's going to be, oh, would you like a Wi-Fi password? Yes, please, because I need to connect to my Switch. Like, damn straight. It's coming with me. Yep. So they're brilliant.
Yeah, good.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, mate, Dr. Mario.
Yeah, Dr. Mario came out just this week. It's something that I had my eyes on when it was announced, but I wasn't too excited for because I wasn't a fan of Dr. Mario when I was a kid because I didn't understand the game. It was like Tetris, but it wasn't, and I don't know. I didn't get it as a kid. It was weird. But I've played it on my phone now, and being a little bit older and able to understand it, I get it and I like it. But I don't think it's very good for kids because I think it's a little advanced for kids, like I'm talking kids that are our kids' ages, like it's a bit tricky. Like the way it works is that you'll have like a Tetris board, and on the phone the pieces go up instead of down, so it's a little bit backwards. And you've got viruses on the screen, and they'll be a particular color, and you use pills to combat them. And the pills need to be of the same color, and you need to have them 3 in a row to kill the viruses.
You use pills. I'm surprised they let it be released in Australia.
Yeah, how about that? That is a little bit touch and go for Australian audiences using drugs. But I don't know, maybe because it's Dr. Mario, even though he's not really a doctor. He's just one of those pretend ones, like that guy in Australia that got in trouble a little while ago.
Dr. Death, yeah, that's good.
But yeah, and the viruses are sort of split up. Do you remember in Tetris when you got to the really hard levels that it would throw in random blocks that would like make it hard to get around?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like that because the viruses are sort of just randomly placed, and you've got to use your pills to break them. You've got to get around. You can spin them around, and it's kind of tricky, but the puzzle element is actually pretty cool, and I think adults might appreciate it a little bit more than kids because it could be a bit tricky. But anyway, it's free on iOS as well as Android. It's available now, and you know, obviously, if you feel like it, you can pay a shit ton of microtransactions, as with just about every mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to. And there's no ads. I didn't have any ads when I played it, which is good because that's rare for a mobile game to have no ads.
Dr. Mario available now, and it is on Android. I can confirm it's downloading exceptionally slowly, which the Play Store has been doing lately.
I wouldn't know. I've got a good iOS going here.
Yeah.
Says the guy who's running a beta and it's broken as shit. But anyway.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all for our games for the week. Let's jump into some news, shall we, guys?
Yeah, news time.
We're all a bit nerdy, hey?
Oh, yeah, little's being kind.
Some would use the phrase nerdy.
A quick story. Just with that, I was actually called a nerd at work the other day. This guy comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, Luke, you're a bit of a nerd, aren't you?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah." And then he proceeded to ask me about something to help him. And I said, "Look, I'll stop you there. Probably not the best way to open up with like an introduction to then asking for my help." And then I said, well, let's break down the word nerd, right? By nerd, if you are referring to somebody who has a passion about something and just isn't a miserable prick all the time. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm passionate about things. And then, yeah, he proceeded to apologize for calling me a nerd and asked me to help him with his computer that he broke. So, yeah, that was cool. Sorry, continue.
Well, nerds everywhere can rejoice. After a showing at E3 earlier this year, Respawn has listened to some of the feedback and has actually tweaked the lightsabers in the upcoming Jedi. I've gone completely blank. What's it called? Jedi Fallen Order? Is that the one?
Yeah, Fallen Order.
Oh, there we go.
What was wrong with it?
I don't know. I was too busy with the wow and oh my god, look at this. But apparently, a few people complained about the lightsabers visually, so they weren't bright enough. They didn't have enough intensity, and the shape was weird.
Yep.
What shape? It's like a broomstick.
Look, the lightsaber anoraks came out, and they were saying they're not lightsabers because they don't have these things. You know, it's all wrong.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, if they were right in saying they were wrong, then good on them. But I would never have noticed.
No, the thing is, I've seen a few screenshots now, and they've changed the shape of them, so they've got more of a flat sort of blade that you see in more of the newer Star Wars movies, and they've got more intensity for the light. But right. I would never have. I never picked it up first time around.
There's a win for the nerds. Yay! God.
So Respawn has gone, yes, we've listened. This is what we've done. And they've done it and said that it's a massive improvement and they're really happy with it. So cool. Good for the nerds everywhere.
Yeah.
Just hurry up and give me the game. Don't worry about tweaking other shit. Just give it to me.
Yeah. Not little shit like that. You're just going to patch it 1,000 times a year anyway.
and throw in some surprise mechanics later. Lucas, PS Plus is going up.
Yeah, now this is more than just a bit of news for me. This is something that's really starting to get under my skin with PlayStation in general. But I get an email and it reads, this is from Sony. Dear Luke 1, that's my PlayStation Network name. Dear Luke 1, starting on the 1st of August 2019, prices for PlayStation Plus subscriptions in Australia will be increasing due to market conditions. The PlayStation Plus 12-month recurring payment plan will remain the same at $79.95. The PlayStation Plus 3-month recurring payment plan will remain at $33.95. The PlayStation Plus 1-month recurring payment plan will increase to $11.95. The new prices will take effect on the 1st of August 2019. This means that any recurring payments due on or after that date will be at the new price. Hang on, let's just go back. Will be increasing due to market conditions. What the hell does that mean? Are their market shares too low and they need to recoup some profits by just going, all you people that can't afford to pay $80 in one hit, or you guys that just pay for it month to month because that's the cheapest and most reasonable way for you to do it, we're going to hit you where it hurts. Not the rich pricks that can just, $80, yeah, go for it, or $34, yeah, here, you just take my money. We're going to hit it where the people who can't afford it the most, we're going to hit them and up their price a little bit because we're Sony and we can, and you need it to play pretty much all of our games. But then also the thing that is really starting to get under my skin is that PlayStation Plus has had quite a few, maybe 3 price increases, but they do nothing extra. They're not giving you anything more. You know what they do is they take away things. We're not getting PS3 games anymore. You're not getting Vita games anymore, but the price is going up. What? And then look, and people who know me know I'm not a PlayStation fanboy and I'm not an Xbox fanboy. Sort of prefacing what I'm about to say. But then on the other side of things, when you go across to Microsoft, they reduced the amount that I need to pay and gave me more. I was paying $10.95 a month for gold and $10.95, I think it was, for Game Pass, which is over $20. I now pay $15.95 a month and I get both of those things. And they've added PC stuff to it as well. What is Sony doing? Are they being like, they're, I want to use the word hubris because I like it. It's a cool word.
Yeah.
Are they being thrown off course because of their own hubris? Because I want to use my cool word, I'll quickly explain it. It's a sense of well-being, okay? So they're flying high because their console sales are 3-4 times, I think, the Xbox One. I don't know, something like that.
Whatever it is now, yeah.
And they generally pretty much have won over this generation, the current generation of gaming consoles. Does that mean that they're sort of just coasting now? It's like, oh, we don't really need to try. Let's just bump the price up $1 and they'll cop it. Oh, I don't know if that's going to keep flying for much longer.
100% they're coasting.
This is bullshit. I've cancelled my PlayStation Plus subscription. The other day when I wanted to play the Division with you, I quickly bought myself 1 month's version, 1 month supply of it and cancelled the recurring payment immediately. And I'll play the Division until I'm done with it. I won't be getting Plus again until I need it. It's just not something worth having around now because they keep taking stuff away and charging more. I'm taking action with my wallet and I'm not paying for it. It's just stupid. I'll always have a Sony PlayStation because there's just too much that I love about it. And obviously my most favorite game, it only ever will come out on the PlayStation. So I kind of have to get the next generation. But yeah, it'll be sparingly. I'll get what I need for it, nothing more. Does what's his name? Don Matrix? Did he go and work for Sony in the last couple of years or something? What happened? He's destroyed Microsoft, Xbox, and then he's coming across to do it to Sony now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're doing, and I'm one of the people that buy a 12-month subscription, but I put away money each month, like I budget for it each month. By the time for that 12 month to come around, that's when I buy it all completely, and it doesn't make sense. And you're 100% correct. They're taking away where Microsoft's just giving more. Yes,
Microsoft need to because they're making up ground, and they're doing so very well. But you can't just coast, man, because Sony will feel the pain.
Microsoft are taking PlayStation's catchphrase off them
for the players.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it's a shame because. Like the PlayStation name is so good, and I really don't want to see them fall. And Microsoft and the Xbox are dead set trendsetters in the gaming industry. They are setting the benchmark, and that benchmark is slowly leaving Sony behind. Yeah, okay, they've got these fantastic IPs that I don't think can be beaten. And if they are beaten, I would love to see that day that Microsoft come up and smash it out of the park with some brilliant new IPs. But I don't want to see Sony PlayStation fall down, and I can't see them doing much good at the moment.
Next thing you know, they'll come out with a PS5. It'll be streaming only, and if you can't do it, oh well, something a bit of fun, something that's not rage-inducing, hey? Greg, what do you got to tell us about Cuphead?
Cuphead.
Not rage-inducing. I see
what you did there. Yeah, that's very clever. Right, so news came out this week that the people that make Cuphead are getting the opportunity to make a Cuphead series with Netflix. So Netflix will be producing it with a company called Kingfisher Syndicate, who has the ownership rights over like Popeye and Betty Boop and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they obviously are well versed with the flavor of a cartoon that Cuphead is and will be.
Yeah, Betty Boop is very Cuphead style.
Yes, that's right. So they did say that this isn't just going to be a kids cartoon, so it's going to have the same vibe to it as the game did, more or less.
Nice.
And it will follow essentially Cuphead and Mugman on their adventures through the place that they live in, which the name escapes me right now. But anyway, that's not important. So yeah, that's all we know so far. It's obviously very early days, but I did look up Kingfisher Syndicate's website, and it's across a big banner across the front page of their website. So this is obviously it's looking like it's promising and it's going ahead. So yeah, I can't wait. I think it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's something I'd be watching.
Awesome stuff. Cast your mind back to just before Christmas, and do you remember a rather pleasant young man was being asked to come in for dinner, but he did not want to because he was playing Fortnite?
Oh yeah, and then he bashed his missus.
And then he flogged his pregnant missus.
Yeah.
Yes. Earlier this week, Luke Mundy has actually been to court, has admitted to assaulting his partner while she was pregnant, and explained a few things what he did. It's not something that, well, let's face it, I don't really want to get into a lot of this because the whole situation is toxic, and he has a AVO against him, which is valid for 2 years, I believe. But both him and his partner have gone to the courts to get the conditions of the AVO reduced so that he can spend time with her and the children. But I mean, the actual relationship itself seems to be very toxic.
Right. Yeah. It seemed. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's things that in the background they've been going to counselling. He's been doing a lot of stuff with his daughter's just been diagnosed with autism, and there's a few things in the background that seem to be happening, but on the flip side, there's not much information available about it. But his partner's also been charged in relation to the whole thing as well. The
same incident. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was just about to mention. I'm pretty sure I remember that she hit him as well. Like it was a bit tit for tat.
Well, he posted photos after the fact of him black and blue, where she laced into him, and so the whole thing's just very toxic. As it is, he has been charged. He's going to be sentenced late August, and
can't rush these things. God,
yeah, it's just the way it is, I guess. And so I'm sure we'll hear more about it then. Just don't do it, and definitely don't stream it.
That's pretty good evidence for the cops. But yeah, look, I mean, if you're getting to the point where it's getting physical with your streaming or your gaming, turn that shit off and sort your life out before you come back.
Well, being that the three of us are all married, and we do enjoy gaming, I don't think any of us would sit there to the point where our wives are saying, "Come on, it's time for dinner," and that a game would actually get in front of that.
Well, yeah, but we're all fat, so if it's dinner on the table, see ya.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. Dinner's ready and there's a whiskey with it. See us.
I don't know any of us that would wait longer before we go and stuff our faces with dinner. I'd be like, I'm gone. It's dinner time.
Dinner time.
Oh, dear. But, yeah, look, no, in all seriousness, no, like, I mean, there's, look, I don't know how old he was. Do you have his age? Do you know how old the guy is? 26, okay, he's not really.
He's 21, 22.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, yeah, it probably does have a little bit to do with age, because we're a little bit older. And probably have a little bit more of a grip on what's important and, responsibilities in life. But, yeah, look, there's also an understanding, and I try to respect the amount that I am locked up in my office, playing my games or live streaming, and make sure that I do have some sort of balance with spending time with my little girl and my wife. And if my missus was ever to come up to me and say, look, I'd prefer that you spend the night with me on the lounge. Can we watch a movie? Yeah, all right. Why not? As in, and she would also respect the fact that if I've got something organised, that she wouldn't try and pull me away from that. But yeah, we can organise a night on the couch, whatever. Let's do it. We'll go out for dinner or something. But yeah, I think that comes with a little bit of age and growing up a little, whereas I think these people involved probably have a little bit to do with that. They're still relatively young and probably still struggle with what's really important. But anyway, hopefully this whole fiasco has made him older and wiser.
Speaking of older, the Nintendo 64.
You are. Oh.
Yeah, I know I am, all right, that's fine. But so is the Nintendo 64. And Nintendo have teamed up with Nike and are bringing out some shoes.
Totally makes sense. Why not? There's the Nintendo.
Everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, that's right. The Sony and the Xbox shoes, aren't they?
Yeah. And if you're listening along at home, you can check out our Facebook page, because I've actually put a post up there for it.
I've got it up on the screen now, and you know what? They look good. It's a color scheme thing, really, and the shoe kind of just looks like a normal shoe with a color scheme. And I would argue that if you looked at these and nobody said that it was a Nintendo 64 themed, you probably wouldn't know.
No, probably not.
Which
it does have power and reset on the tongue.
Oh, it does too. Yeah, that's cool. It's subtle, but that's cool.
Yeah. So that and that's the thing. When I first saw these, I just went, they actually look really good because they're nice and subtle, and it's a shoe that I would wear.
Yeah.
I can assume what the price point would be, and they'd never come out of the box if I ever bought them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But yeah, look, I like them. See, that's how I like my video game stuff that I'm going to wear or use in public. I like them to be subtle, that other gamers would look at it and go, hey, that's cool. But then other people that don't know about it have no idea. That's what I like.
They don't walk up and go, hey, you're a bit of a nerd, aren't you?
Yes, exactly. That's what I like. And these kind of fit that brief because, I don't think you'd pick up on that as a layman, if you will. I think, but a gamer probably might, because they'd see power and reset and go, oh, that's a gaming thing, right? But I like them. I wouldn't buy them, as you said. Look, I would never wear them because they're probably expensive.
Yeah.
I like to wear my, $30 Kmart jobbies because I don't really have much pride in my appearance.
You wear KT26s, do you? What are they called?
I don't know what they are. They don't have anything on them.
be fair, I think KT26s is something that Leo would wear.
Look, yeah, he probably has those. I don't know what they are, so.
They're like the quintessential like West, like they used to be like a dad shoe. They were quite a dad shoe. I'm pretty sure my dad used to wear them, right? And his cousin used to come all the way from New Zealand to buy pairs because he loved them so much. But yeah, when you look at them, they're stuck in the 70s. I won't lie. They're very working class kind of sneaker.
But mind you, this is to assume that Leo is going to actually go and buy his own shoes. I'm pretty sure his fashion is probably whoever his next door neighbour's fashion is, not me, because I keep my shoes locked up because I know what he's like. But the neighbour on the other side of him, he probably just wears their shoes because they probably leave them out the front, and he just goes, "That's mine," and takes them. So that's
Fair
what
enough.
Leo is all about. If anybody listening, you don't know who Leo is, he's my next door neighbour. He's a massive bogan. If you don't know what a bogan is, then go to the Urban Dictionary, check it out. I don't know. But yeah, he's a bit of a pest.
Send Leo a message that you want him to tell you what a bogan is, and I reckon you'll just get a picture back.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, he's on Twitter. He uses Twitter every now and then. When he comes to my places, uses my computer, because I don't think his phone can have Twitter on it. But Leo Bones U. So at Leo Bones U, the letter U. That's his Twitter handle thing, whatever. Leo Bones U. I think he thinks he's a sex machine or some sexy beast or something. He's a bloody idiot. That's what he is.
All right, mate.
Anyway.
Last bit of news.
Yep.
It's been very Nintendo-ish this week.
Yeah.
Just announced the Nintendo Switch Lite.
you know,
The flat 3DS.
I mean, it just makes me think of a light switch. It's just the thing on the wall. The switch light. It's a really silly idea. If it was a lot cheaper, I would understand this thing's existence, but it's just like, what is it, like $70 cheaper than a normal one?
Yeah, $329. When this is something, and I actually put it up on Twitter today, that it's the value. I don't think the value's there. The Nintendo Switch, and the reason it's called the Switch is because you can switch it between different things. You can switch it between handheld. You can sit it up in front of you while you and a mate, plays with a Joy-Con each, or you can put it in the dock and play it on the TV. This one doesn't connect to the TV, and it doesn't have removable Joy-Cons, so it is just a handheld Switch.
Yeah, so it's a Switch that doesn't switch.
Exactly. So I think it's a 5.5 inch screen.
Inch screen, that's correct.
Yeah, 720p. It's not dockable. It has no video out. The left-hand side buttons have been changed back to a D-pad.
Yep.
The battery life's supposed to be better. It's not compatible with the Labo systems, and there's no rumble packs in it.
Yeah, it's not compatible with Labo because I think Labo you have to remove the Joy-Con.
It's a size thing too, yeah.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, but look, I saw this announced and I just thought it was stupid. I don't like. I understand that it could have been better than it is because it is a good idea, but it's not. Why isn't it? Why can't you plug it in to put it onto a screen?
I don't know.
How is that that can't be a cost thing. That's just to make it differentiate between the normal Switch.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why they wouldn't just use the same interface with the two of them.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
So then on the bottom of the Switch, you just drop it into the dock, and then the Switch Lite, you just drop it into the dock, and away you go.
Yeah, but don't sell it with the dock because you're marketing it as a portable thing only, and then you can obviously pair up another set of Joy-Cons or a Pro controller.
Yeah.
But if you want, you can buy the dock separately, which they are available to buy, and then use it. But they've locked that off. I wonder if that's hackable, where you can hack it to actually be dockable. That would be interesting to see what happens when it launches. If these boffins out there do some modding to it and make it dockable, that'd be interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not the USB-C connection.
Oh, you mean like a new proprietary one?
Well, either that or they go back to all the same. I don't know what the 3DS has, whether they use the same sort of charging port as the 3DS has got, or whether they use, a mini USB or whatever.
Well, I reckon that'll be too big. Those charging ports on the 3DSs are actually pretty chunky.
Oh, okay.
And they're like a weird, bizarre proprietary thing I've never seen work on anything else.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's released September 20th this year.
Oh,
Everyone's
can't
got it up
wait.
for pre-sale. Everyone's talking it up. $329. It's $199 everywhere else. If you go off the current exchange rate and import tax, you're looking at $329 is pretty much bang on. I think I did some maths today and it was about $326. But it's still
it's too expensive because you can get a Switch for $450 or $399, can't you?
Yeah, it's $399 now.
Yeah,
They
so
come in at
$400
$379, on sale, and they've got the full size, the detachable, the dock, with a HDMI in it, with a power pack, everything ready to go.
Yeah.
Or,
Why wouldn't you? Well, I mean, why would you? There's not enough of a saving. You're losing a lot, but you're not saving a lot of money. $70, like that's less than the price of a set of Joy-Cons.
Mm-hmm.
You may as well just buy the normal Switch. Price point's all wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing that ruins it for me. Not that I would have bothered anyway, but because I've got a Switch. But yeah, no good.
What about yourself, Grejio? You still there?
I hope so.
Yes.
There you are.
Um,
You've been quiet there for a sec.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think the price point's wrong, and it's not enthusing me enough to go, yeah, let's go buy a Switch. I mean, the concept itself, without knowing the price of the concept itself, I would have gone, you know what, maybe this is my foot in the door for a Switch, for wanting to buy a Switch, but yeah, the price point's not good. So
I think if you aren't sold on a Switch as it is, the current version, this one's not going to sway you.
No, that's right.
At $200, it might.
Yeah, at $200.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
100%. Yeah,
That's what I meant. If the price had been right, then yeah, maybe. But as it stands now, no.
All right. Well, I think that's everything for the news, boys.
It is.
Awesome. Alrighty, well, let's jump into some last words. Lucas, you got a few last words this week, mate?
Yeah, look, I'll punch through them. The first thing I want to talk about is the Sin Spacey Show, episode number 9 that I did last weekend, and I referred to it in the previous show. That was... what ran late?
You ran late.
Huh? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. So the Sid Spacey Show number 9 was absolutely amazing. It was really good fun. I couldn't make it for the first, I think it was about 20 minutes of the show. Because I had a dentist appointment, so I went and did that. But because I didn't want to let Spacey's down, I kind of organised Leo to step in on my behalf and sort of do the show at the start. And I have watched the show back now for the bit that I missed. And oh my God, Leo is embarrassing.
He did fuck up your rules somewhat.
Well, yeah, I left a page of rules down of things not to do, and he essentially, before he didn't even read them at the start, but he basically blew all the rules in the first 5 minutes, completely just stuffed everything up. He was swearing, he sculled a beer, he poked fun at some of the guests and the hosts.
That's Spacey's himself.
Spacey's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, the rating of the Synth Spacey's show kind of went up a notch because Leo was there. but I think the show turned out quite well. Regardless, it's kind of easy to
quietly,
laugh at him. Yeah,
I did not stop laughing that entire time.
It was very good.
I thought he was absolutely brilliant, and watching. So it was yourself, Leo, Uncle Chunt, Spacey's obviously the host, and is it Cameron?
Cam Hons. Yep.
Cam Hons. Yeah, so I just watching the others interact with Leo.
Yeah.
And then even a few times where they'd say something and then it'd tick in their head. It's like, oh no. And then Leo would pipe up.
Oh, what have I done? I've left the door open for Leo to make a comment.
There was a couple of those moments where, and especially Spacey's has just gone, oh shit. What have
I know, he made fun of Uncle Chunt when he was talking about his thing with the animals. I won't go into it. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to go watch the show. It's awesome. I've got the link in the show notes for Sid Spacey's show, episode 9. You've got to go check it out for yourself, because us explaining it will do it no justice. You got to go check it out. Oh,
yeah,
dear.
Definitely.
All right, what else?
I made it. I made it for the show, and I did my appearance, but I think I'd already been shown up by bloody Leo.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to give a shout out to the Bit War veterans. Have you guys heard of the Bit War veterans?
No, I have not.
No.
Well, there was Max Inventory and Meow Tai Ching. They were on Synth Spacey's show, episode 8, with me as well. And they also do the Bit War Veterans podcast. It's available on iTunes. It's probably in a few other places. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's definitely on iTunes. Check it out. Listen to the Bit War Veterans. Their most recent episode is an interview with Brian, Synth Spacey's, and also Sega Master Tim. These guys are both ex-Sega Hotline employees. So, you know, do you remember on the back of the Sega Mega Drive and Master System games where you could ring the hotline? These two blokes they answered the phone and gave you the hints and tips and cheats. The Bit War Veterans latest episode interviews both Brian and Tim. You have to listen to it. It is a really good listen. So interesting, some of the stuff that they did and dealt with and stuff that went down. I recommend it. I'm going to have a link for Bit War Veterans as well in the show notes.
It is also on Spotify, if anyone's wondering.
Very good. That's something that's cross-platform, so you can get that on anything. So go check that out. Last words from me is it's the 35th anniversary for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the very first comic book that featured the Ninja Turtles was 35 years ago in 1984. And in my excitement when I saw the tweets, because I didn't know, I saw some tweets about it being the 35th anniversary, which spurred me on to go and retrieve my big, massive bag of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figurines. Mm-hmm. And I went through and it was essentially a show and tell with all of these Ninja Turtles toys, and they are all in such good condition still, even though they are so old. You got to check out that video. I've put a video together. It's on the Aussie Gamers Experience YouTube channel, and it's a long one. It's near on half an hour, so make sure you got your coffee or your scotch and your feet are up. Watch it on your big screen telly, and check out that video. I'd really appreciate that, because I had a real good time making it. It was a massive walk down memory lane. I recommend that video to any Ninja Turtles fans.
From my childhood, I've only got one set of figurines probably left over.
Oh yeah, what were they?
That are still floating around, and if I had one extra in there, they would be worth an absolute mint. But because I'm missing that one, they're only worth a mini mint.
Who gives a shit what they're worth?
Exactly. Well, they're sitting there packed away, and I'm debating, because my girls love them and they want to play with them. I'm debating whether to let them or not. but it's actually the original Smurfs.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah. So like the all the original ones, and yeah, I've got every single one except for Smurfette. And if I had a Smurfette, it would be worth an absolute mozza. But because I don't, then it's not a complete set. But it's yeah, I don't really have any of the I never had Ninja Turtles or anything like that. My brother did, and he still got all them. But lots of Lego. I have lots of Lego still.
I was never a Lego kid.
I'm still a Lego kid. People ask me what my girls want for their birthday. I tell everyone Lego.
Yeah, for the girls. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I still have lots and lots of Hot Wheels cars. Lots.
Yes.
Still,
Yeah, nice.
to this day, buy Hot Wheels cars. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long
Still
ago.
going.
Still going.
I was a Micro Machines kid. I loved those things.
Oh yes, I remember them.
Yep.
I used to get a fair bit of them. Them and my Transformers.
That and
There was-
Connectables. That were another one. You remember Connectables?
Oh, where you could break them in half and put them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember them.
I
Yeah,
had the
they were
entire
cool.
collection of Connectables. I don't anymore, but which sucks. But yeah,
I think I've still got. I think now that I remember it, I think I might still have Voltron at Mum and Dad's.
ooh,
Nice. I don't know where my
Like a
Voltrons
full-
are.
Yeah, like the full all 5 lions. It should be there.
I had all of them except for the black one, which you essentially needed because they all connected
was
to the
the
black
chest.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That was the chest and
yeah.
head. Yeah. I have a feeling that is at Mum's house. I think I know where it is too. Guess where I'm going on the weekend? I'm
Yeah,
going
good.
to find. I'm going to get it. Yeah, screw it. All right, cool. Any other last words, mate?
No, I'm done.
You done, Greg?
no, I'm just glad to have been able to hear that part of the conversation.
Oh, your connection's
Phew.
been playing up. You can listen to it back later.
Yeah, this is true.
Alrighty. Well, as I do every week, don't forget to head on over to Twitch and check out Aussie Gamers TV and Snooger Visions for myself and Lucas. Grejio XBL on Instagram and Twitter for all of Grejio's wonderful creations. Plus, of course, Facebook and our Discord channel. Check out for the bits and pieces below. So, without further ado, let's close it up, eh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you very much to everyone that's listening to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. Greg, thank you for joining me, mate.
My pleasure.
Joining us. And for yourself, Lucas, thank you.
No worries.
Enjoy the new type of edit. I'm interested to see how it works out.
Yeah, sound levels should be a little bit nicer this week.
Beautiful.
Thanks to Craig.
To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics we discuss on the show on our Facebook page or the Discord channel. And of course, get in touch with us directly. You can shoot us an email at info@theagexp.com. And don't forget to hit up our website, www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and description. That is all from me. As always, I am Snoogs.
I am Lucas.
And I have been Grejio.
Sayers.
Goodbye.
Root.
Ooh, okay, that's the end of this week's podcast. And if you found yourself shouting at your speakers in disgust or maybe even in pleasure, make your way over to our Discord server and make a comment in the appropriate channel. Failing that, you can also have your say over on our Facebook page, or you can just tweet at us. Searching for the Aussie Gamers Experience will usually lead you in the right direction, but you could just use the set of links that are in the show description. This podcast is available through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and plenty more. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode of the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.